girls. Thank you for your interest in volunteering with OC Coder. Here are some tips to help you get started. OC Coder has 5 main departments. Junior Coding Club, JCC, teaches Scratch to elementary school students. The JavaScript Club, JSC, teaches JavaScript to middle school students. Girls Who Code runs clubs for girls to meet up to develop coding skills and further their knowledge of computer science. The Programs Department hosts special events such as the Annual Hour of Code and one-time classes at schools and libraries. The Senior Center Department helps senior citizens with their technology at local senior centers. Here are some general volunteering tips relevant to all of our departments. Be patient. It's the #1 priority for the students to understand the concepts. If you're ever unsure about anything, always ask the lead volunteer or whoever's in charge. Be prepared with materials, which includes bringing your laptop and charger and wearing your OC Coder t-shirt. Communicate well with your volunteers and students so they know what's going on, and be flexible if a minor detail goes wrong. Also, remember not to have distractions. Students can see if you're texting on your phone or checking social media, so don't have that out while you are volunteering. For volunteers to redeem service hours, they must sign in and sign out on the sign-in sheet that the lead volunteer will provide. In addition, all hours must be logged in Voluntu and be approved. If you do not have a Voluntu account, please make one as soon as possible. Here are some classroom volunteering tips. This is relevant to Scratch, JavaScript, Girls Who Code, and programs. Senior Center is a bit different from the rest, so more information will be given on that in a separate video. As a volunteer, your role is to set up the room, transport chairs from other rooms, move tables, set up the projector, sign in and direct participants to the classroom, help around during class, teach students individually, and tidy up the classroom and wipe down the tables. At all classes, there will be one volunteer designated to manage the sign-in table at the front lobby. The sign-in sheet will be provided by the lead teacher. That volunteer must stay there 10 minutes before and after the start time for the class to check students in. This volunteer needs to be knowledgeable about the class and OC Coder, since parents may ask him or her questions. He or she also needs to keep parents in the front lobby to prevent overcrowding inside the classroom and in the hallways. Students do not need to sign out at the end of class. For the classroom setup, students generally sit in tables of 2 or 3 and all face forward. Assistants usually stay in the back and walk around to help students when necessary. The teacher is expected to bring his or her laptop and the laptop screen projected on the wall. The projector is provided by Ardent. The teacher walks through the steps on the screen as he or she is explaining. Here are a few volunteering scenarios. Say that you have a few struggling students in your class. They are your #1 priority to catch up. Volunteers should stay by them to help them bring them up to speed. For Scratch, although it might be easy to just tell them what to do, you need to explain why each block is there and what exactly it is doing. For kids not following along, ask them if they are finished with what is being taught right now. If they are finished, ask them if they need help and stick around to help. If they are, tell them to follow along so they can learn best. Don't let students play other games because it distracts other kids. Here are some teaching tips. You should talk loudly and clearly so students can hear and keep the class under control. Explain the curriculum with repetition in case the students don't catch what you're saying the first time. It is important to explain why you do things, not just do it on the screen and have the kids copy what you do. You need to pace the class well, which we'll go over in the next slide. Ask the kids questions to keep them involved. Don't just explain everything. Ask kids how to code something and confirm or help them fix it. When you are telling them to repeat a skill, have them do it individually, then show the solution on the screen. Don't make logic jumps, especially in the first class. Some kids have never heard of an if-else statement or while loop, so explain what they are. In addition, you must finish the lesson on time, so pace yourself. It messes up the schedule to finish it next class. Don't move on until about 90% of the class is done with the step you are on. Assistants are there to help catch up lagging students. Participant feedback always stress positive. Ask who is finished versus who is not finished or who needs more time. This way, the students are more likely to raise their hand, so you know if you should move on or not. To get their attention, speak loudly and be firm, but also be nice. You can come up with a signal to quiet the kids down, but keep in mind they are 4th to 6th graders. Sometimes if you just keep speaking, the kids will realize. The teacher can adjust general noise by saying something like, "Alright, let's quiet down so students around you can focus." If a specific kid is making noise, approach them nicely and ask them to quiet down. If the kid continues to disrupt, have the adult supervisor talk to the kid, but the kids are generally not that bad. Teacher commitment. For Scratch and JavaScript, the teacher commitment is to teach once a month. Teachers preferably commit to a certain Saturday of the month every time, but it's okay if you need to switch shifts with someone else. All curriculum has already been written, you will just have to teach it to the class. It is also preferable that one of your parents can be the mandatory adult supervisor required for each class. For cleanup, volunteers will return the desks and chairs to their original position. You will need to wipe down the desks with Clorox wipes provided by Ardent. At the end, turn off the lights and shut the door.